Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Corey. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Grassroots Rugby League Sports coming to you live from Prince Edward Park as we work out which microphone we turn on and which one we don't. My name's Troy Hardy. I'm with the Auckland Rugby League, part of the ARL live stream team, and we're at the home of the Papakura Sea Eagles, who are playing host to the Bay Roskill Vikings, who come across town. Looking forward to a pretty good clash today. Bay Roskill coming off the back of a pretty impressive draw last week, so they'll be full of confidence as they come to the home of the Sea Eagles here at Prince Edward. Don't go too far away. Corey's going to be joining us very shortly with the coaches from both teams, and then we'll catch up with a senior official down here at the Papakura Sea Eagles Club. Don't go too far away. Back real shortly with Corey Rosser. Cheers, eh?
Right, joining me now, Jody Henry, head coach of the Papakura Sea Eagles. Well, Jody, 2 losses to start the year, but tell us what you've seen from your squad in terms of growth over that first fortnight.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks. They're coming up against 2 sides. They've been a benchmark, for a long time now. And it's been a challenge to our boys, to step up and prove that they want to be here at this level, playing at this level. We showed really good things, in 2 games. There were some positives there, but we're a bit off the mark and we've got a lot of improvement. So, we've done a lot of work. The training just to fix up on a few things they want to be better at. And yeah, I'm positive we'll show that today.
There's a couple of boys in the squad that I think you actually played Junior Warriors with way back in the day there. Must be quite special to, I guess in some cases, reunite with those guys and still share that passion for rugby league.
Yeah, like Mikey, for example, we played together in the 2008 Warriors 20 side, and it's good to have those guys come over. When I heard Mikey was back here, I gave him a call, to come over, bring some experience to help out these young guys. We played a bit of football in Australia at Redcliffe together. We got a good connection there, and Mikey was keen to come over and help. Just like Jason. Jason's been, been with me for the last 3 years at Franklin Storm, and last year when we come over here, he's been a massive influence with all the young boys, and really setting the standard for them and helping them improve their game.
You do have a number of guys from the Franklin Storm side that you took a couple of years ago. How helpful is that as you look to, I guess, rebuild the squad, just to have that bond with those guys?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Those boys, they proved that Sharman level that, they can play against the best. And them coming over here was another opportunity for them to show, they deserve to be playing at this level against the best. And it's been great to have some of those boys come over. A lot of the boys that came over actually originally from this club. Captains, Ruben and Donnie, they're juniors from this club, and it's good to have those boys back here to represent their clubs, and hopefully we can build around the local boys.
Based off what you've seen from your team the first couple of weeks, what are the key things you need to do well today if you're a chance?
I really focused on our ruck. I think if we fix up our ruck, we'll be a lot better. We probably need to slow the ball down a bit, slow the play the ball down a bit, tidy up their ruck, and it comes down to attitude too. If you don't turn up with the right attitude, then you're gonna have a hard day.
Excellent. All right, Jody, thanks very much for joining us. We'll let you go and finish preparing the team on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League. All the very best for today.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Right, John Paul joins us now from the Bay Roskill Vikings. Well, John, I spoke to you after round one, and I think it was your first round one victory you'd had with the guys in your coaching career, and pick up a valuable draw last week. How do you assess the first fortnight?
It's been really good. I think we've had a pretty good pre-season, to be honest. Probably one of the best in a couple of years. So we started pretty strong, and then all our guys got injured, Corey.
As so often happens, eh? And you mentioned the injuries. I know you lost Justice Lealsevi, obviously a massive blow for you guys. How hard has it been to, I guess, replace some of that experience and strike that you have?
There's been quite a few actually. But in saying that, every team's going through that, I guess, and they'll go through it at some point. We just have to see that as an opportunity to bring and develop up some young boys, And we do. We've grabbed 6 or 7 for today's game. And we see it as an opportunity, right? So we might lose that experience, but our plan is to keep developing so that we've got young men coming through year after year. That's the plan for us, bro. So.
It's not just injury robbing you, unfortunately, of players. Big Fino, who was outstanding for you the first couple of weeks, over to Australia for family reasons. How much does the game plan change, or can you slot someone in to fill that void?
We've slotted someone in to fill that void. So, we're trying to roll with the plan that everyone can pick up and play. If we try and specialise it around certain players, the moment you lose them, the game plan kind of goes out the window. So we've tried to, what we're working on is a game where, it's easy to pick up and everyone can get on board and play. And, what we're finding is the experience between our Prem players and the reserve players, the gap is huge.
Okay.
So, we're trying to find, lay a platform, set foundations, but also try and bring these younger guys up to speed as fast as we can. That's proving to be tricky. But the only way to do that is get them out playing.
Absolutely. Now, a few guys in this Papakura team that you may have faced back in the second division qualifiers and that sort of thing, they do have some experience here. What do you think the key is to getting over the top of Papakura today?
I think they always come with a strong forward pack, and they have a great hooker in Jason. So we're mindful that they'll come up the middle and use Jason's expertise. I think that's the plan for most teams. And so, we've got to be on our game, in particular our markers and our defence around the middle. So if we can shut that down and then trying to work on the plan that we're trying to establish and grow within us, we should be okay. But we've got to shut Jason down. He's important now.
There's the key. All right, hey, thank you very much for joining us. All the very best today, and I know we've got you in games over the next couple of weeks, so we'll talk to you again next week, but all the very best today.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have rugby league fans with us, and George Curry, part of the Papakura Sea Eagles committee down here, financial director, CEO.
I don't know about that.
I'm throwing in the CEO for you,
no.
mate. Anyway, good to have you here, George. First off, mate, a little bit about the club, kicking off this year, mate. How's it sort of tracking for you?
Pretty good. Unfortunately, last year with COVID, we didn't have our juniors, so our juniors are back in force. We're fielding about 13 or 14 teams in our years 6s to 12s, and then we're fielding another 6 youth teams plus our Prems and reserves. So
awesome. And I understand you've got another 16 girls team down here as well.
We do. Loving having the girls here. Unfortunately, this year our women's didn't want to take the field, but but we're trying to build again for the future with our 16s girls, and hopefully in the future we can build 14s girls and 12s girls if that's possible.
And look, if I was a local and I was living in the area out here in Papakura, how would I go about trying to join a team or coming to basically hook into the club?
Quite easy. Just on our website, www.papakurarugbyleague.co.nz, or our Facebook page. We've got a Facebook page, Papakura Seagulls. Or just come down. There's people around all the time here at Prince Edward Park. Tuesday, basically right through the week. So yeah, just come and approach one of the people, and they'll lead you to the right team.
Cool. A little bit of the sort of work you do behind the scenes. I know I've just snatched you off the sideline here, been running the line in the reserves game, mate. Sort of work that you do. Everybody needs good sponsors and good volunteers. So let's talk about volunteers. Do you need somebody to help you out down the club?
Yeah, always needing volunteers down the club. At the moment, we probably need some help with our reserves, probably some runners, a trainer, and help out the manager as well. But always looking for new coaches and new trainers. We're happy to put you through coaching courses if you need to come through, particularly from the youth grade and above. Also, happy to help with any education, which we get consultants down to help out at training, and anything we can do there. Also, looking to also bolster our playing roster, particularly in our reserves and our prems. Always looking for the new best thing in Papakura. If you are in Papakura and you have got that Papakura postcode, we don't want you to play at any other club. You need to be playing here at Papakura. This is the place to be.
Okay, that probably would sink more. Take your glasses off. You'd actually look straight down the camera and tell them that's the go. Mate, in regards to, sort of touched on volunteers and players and what have you, really important to all clubs is obviously sponsors, and I know you guys work really hard behind the scenes. So let's give a wee bit of love to the guys who are, supporting you hard.
We're very lucky. We have a long lead of sponsors this year. It's very lucky to do that. We've got a great bunch of volunteers who go out and try and get those sponsors. Our major sponsor being GJ Gardner, Papakura, who's our local. So we try to get local sponsors. Harvey's at Papakura, very, very Darren Brady there, the man on a mission, or the best auctioneer in the house. Hugh Munro Smash Repairs is another local business. We've been lucky this year. We've got a company from probably a shearer from Gisborne, D&L Smith Shearing Limited. Very lucky to have him on board. They're all our jersey sponsors. Then we move to our shorts sponsors. D&L Smith is actually a short sponsor. Yeah. We have SW Concrete Management Limited, Chiropractic Edge, South Auckland Motors, all short sponsors. So we're very lucky to have those on board. And then we move to single jersey sponsors. We've got Synergy Properties, F45 Viaduct and F45 at Britomart, Seville's, Let's Party and Hire, F45 Karaka, Papakura Wholesale Meats, Stress Crete, Syria Graphics, and M&M Trophy Factory led by Maud and Dave. So very lucky to have all those on board, particularly local businesses. We want all our Papakura community to look after our local businesses. So please, if you heard those names, get out and support them.
Awesome. Well, that's a fantastic list you've got there, and it's great to be able to give back to some of the sponsors, on the live stream here with ARL TV. Finally, George, a little bit around the club. We've got a long season ahead. What sort of activities have you got lined up? Is there many events? And also just wanted to touch on, obviously today, ladies and gentlemen, Prince Edward Park is awash with sunshine. If you're in the area, come and join us.
Yep.
I know the club's open tonight.
Club's open tonight. We always have our after match function where both teams, Prems and Reserves, both attend. We put on a meal for all the teams, and if you're around, you're most welcome to come down and have a meal on us, and then also have a drink for us tonight and enjoy yourself. We have a DJ on tonight as well. More than welcome to come down and have a party.
Awesome. Well, if you want to see George bust some moves down here at the local Seagulls clubhouse, come and join us. Just finally, though, I was going to touch on activities and events, supporting programs you've got coming up.
So probably our largest fundraising event will be our 300 Club, which is where you have a bit of a lottery. We're having, it's $150 a ticket. We're basically doing that in June, July and August. There'll be a draw in each month. So that's our largest fundraiser for the club. and we just look to get people down to the club after all matches, even away matches. We open up the club, so by all means come down. This year we'll have a couple of GJ Gardner have a local a resident band which they're going to support the club with. So there'll be a couple of nights where they play at our club, and just having a good community place where everyone can come down and enjoy themselves and just meet great Papakura people and enjoy themselves. Yeah, really. Thanks. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, look, on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, thanks very much for hosting us today, George. To all the fans in and around Papakura, if you're in the neighbourhood, come and join us down here. Live league action at Prince Edward Park. Don't go too far away, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for the build-up for today's mains clash.
Thanks, Troy. Thank you very much.
Just up in the box there, close.
That's why we got Kev not bigger this week.
I love you, man.
You guys are close to twinning, bro. Grayson. Jeez. This one, bro.
Grant, can you hear me, Grant?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Prince Edward Park here in Papakura, South Auckland. You are joining us for today's live stream match between the Papakura Seagulls and the Bay Roskill Vikings. A decent day here, certainly the weather holding out, although the clouds are looking a little ominous over and above, so let's hope that all stays well and we get a nice dry game of footy here and can see a little bit of ball movement, particularly given what we endured certainly in the opening round of the competition with rain across Auckland. I'm joined in the commentary box today by TJ Ashford and Troy Hardy, who we will get to soon enough, but in the meantime we're going to talk through some of the games that are happening across Auckland today in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. So we'll bring up that graphic now and have a little look at some of the action that's taking place, and there are some big games including a Root Rooster Challenge. So taking a look now, and the big one there that jumps out to me straight away, the Root Rooster Clash goes on the line for the first time this year with the Mount Albert Lions at home to the Glenora Bears. Bring TJ Ashford in for this one. Well, TJ, we saw Mount Albert in action in round one and held to a draw last week against the Bay Roskill Vikings. I think fair to say there's going to be a fairly fired up Lions team today taking on an old foe.
Yeah, it will be, Corey. Obviously, probably not the start that Mount Albert were looking for this year, but playing at home and also playing for the Roop as well is going to be a big test for them. So, exciting game, that one. Would have been another good coverage to watch that one for today's game.
Bert Henham Park sees Otahuhu take on Marist. This should be an interesting game. Both teams with a victory so far this season, and two fairly youthful teams by all accounts. Zane Pockington and Francis Melly doing a good job there at Marist, and had a couple of players return this year as well. The Howick Hornets, technically the defending champions of this competition, they are at home to the Richmond Bulldogs, who picked up their first win of the year last week. And then we've got Northcote taking on Te Aratu at Birkenhead War Memorial. TJ, we called Northcote last week. No shortage of effort there, and did score a couple of nice tries with the limited possession they had, but does look like just pure size on the field is going to be an issue for them this year.
Yeah, I was speaking to a couple of their senior players at the conclusion of last week's game, and probably just the experience and things like that in the club is something that they're missing at the moment. So Eddie Fangota is the guy I was talking to, so he's still in good spirits at the moment. They know where they are as a club, but there's still some good prospects that they've got coming through. Their lock forward last week was outstanding. I think scored, was it 3 tries in the end, so he was awesome on the park last week. So it'll just be about, again, building on their combinations and trying to work together to get their first win for the season.
Yeah, and I guess the big one for them will be whether or not Jordan Tiaho has recovered. We didn't see him pretty much past the 10-minute mark last week, so fingers crossed it's nothing too serious for Jordan. He's a real key player for them, and obviously a representative player as well. The Point Chevalier Pirates, the undefeated Pirates, take on the Mangere East Hawks. Boy, I'd love to be there to watch this one today. Mangere looked super impressive last week, TJ, and now get a real test against a team that's likely to be right up there come end of the season.
Yeah, it was an awesome display on the field last week from Mangere East, and it's going to be a test for them against the Point Chevalier Pirates this afternoon. But again, it's for Richie, it'll just be a line in the sand pretty much as to where they are at the moment in the season. So playing a big team like that, round 3, draw a line in the sand, see where they are, and hopefully build off the back of that.
And our live stream game today, obviously, Papakura taking on the Bay Roskill Vikings. Bay Roskill with a win and a draw through the first 2 rounds, and Papakura yet to pick up a victory. But talking to both coaches, they both seem pretty upbeat. Jody Henry, I think, knows that he's got a good squad here on potential, and it's probably just about getting some miles into the legs and starting to adjust to his game plan. We'll take a look now at the ladder for the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership and how things stand after the first 2 weeks. There we go. Apologies for the background noise as we iron out a few technical issues. So you can see there that there are a clear top 3 after 2 weeks. It was an interesting one last week with I think only one set of undefeated teams taking each other on, which has made for a sort of funny looking ladder in some ways, and already we've got that top three clear: Point Chevalier, Howick and Glenora. Tucked in just behind with that point from the draw is Bay Roskill. Mangere East big winners last week, and as a result they jump ahead of the other teams on 2 competition points. Then goes Marist, Otahu, Richmond, Mount Albert, Te Aratu, Northcote and Papakura. So that's how things sit today. Of course, an opportunity for Bay Roskill to, I guess, keep footed with that top group there. And as we mentioned, obviously Glenora taking on Mount Albert and Point Chevalier taking on Mangere East in particular. There's real potential there for one of those top teams potentially to drop one, or at least for Bay Roskill to create a bit of distance from those around them. So that's how things stand today. Do want to give a big shout out to the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship qualifiers, which kick off today. And maybe bring TJ in on that one, given that he has a little bit of recent experience coaching in that division. TJ, from what we can see, a little bit of player movement all around there. But I guess from your point of view, what will, I guess, the teams be focusing on through these first 2 weeks, remembering that there's a fair bit at stake now. A top 4 finish gives you a chance at First Division promotion for 2020. So, yeah, what will be the plan today for most teams?
Yeah, just from my experience, Corey, it's a fairly short season for them, so every game's going to count in that division. So it'll be about getting off to a good start. And again, you've got the likes of Manukau, who I went through undefeated last year, although disrupted with COVID. They're going to be a side to watch out for this year as well. Had the opportunity to coach a couple of them in the Māoris tournament at the end of last year, and just the quality and how they train, you could tell why they were a success at Manukau last year. So for them, or for everyone in that division, it'll just be about getting off to a good start, trying to build those foundations early with their players and their playing group, and trying to string a couple wins together back-to-back in the first couple rounds.
Yeah, and of course off the back of that, probably Manukau are deserving pre-season favourites, you would think, to top the qualifying, but also the Otara Scorpions, who are always strong, and I understand have a few club juniors who have returned there. They'll be one to watch out for as well, and Papatoitoi, who's a pretty much completely new look side as well. All right, to the game in front of us, and we'll bring up the team list and just run you through some of the feature points there as kickoff approaches in the next couple of minutes. For Papakura, well, the experience comes from guys like Ruben Tolavai, Jason Toll at hooker, and also the Tuivai Lopa brothers ×2. And watch as well for Daley Dutton in the halves, a player that Coach Jody Henry rates highly. And speaking of Coach Jody Henry, great to see him still coaching in the Auckland First Division after taking Franklin Storm a couple of years ago. He's involved with the Auckland rep side that year as well. For the visitors, the Bay Roskill Vikings, coached by John Paul. Watch for Corey Vogel out wide. Jerome Vogel is the number 4. Sebastian Hint, he played for the Auckland Blue under-20s and looked really, really strong there. He partners the veteran Jerome Ropati. And up front, there's some talent as well. Watch for Mackenzie Cutter off the bench, a real damaging ball carrier who has the potential to make a bit of a difference there when he comes on. Our referee today is Kevin Arken in the middle. And we prepare now for kickoff as the clouds have moved a little here at Prince Edward Park. 80 minutes of SAS Foxmoro Premiership footy to come. Round 3, we are underway here at Prince Edward. Papakura chasing that first win of the year, and with it the big confidence boost that will come as we see Bay Roskill go very wide early on. Working this ball for Jerome Ropati. What a servant he's been to this club since winding up his professional career. Played a number of years and often partnering Ben Henry, the former Kiwi international. They're two handy guys to have in your halves. And they do bring through their fair share of good young talent as well, as we see, well, coast to coast early on. TJ Ashford, they go right out to the right, right out to the left. It ends up breaking down there, but a signal of intent early from the Vikings.
Yeah, very indifferent start there, Corey, to the traditional style of playing through the middle first. So I think they've shown their hand there, Bay Roskill, but high risk, high reward play there, unfortunately. So good opportunity for Papakura to put some early points on the ball.
So it breaks down and Papakura will have the scrum feed, and looking at that, it's about 30 metres out from the try line. A little bit of a breeze here at Prince Edward, as there often is. We're right on the ocean here, the motorway in the background. So scrum will be fed by Jerome Mika, and the jersey numbers don't necessarily correlate to the position today. It was whatever the boys could fit, so we've got a couple of funny little jersey number clashes across the way. But in the meantime, back to the action. Jason Toll, such an impressive player, just one of those guys that does all the little things right, a really intelligent footballer. Loved watching him for the Franklin Storm a couple of years ago, and great to see him still playing as they move out now to Ruben Tolovai. Former Auckland representative, then hands off to Tiffany Noble. Not far out from the line now, Papakura. Looking to strike first. They shift to the right. Mika holds it up. Lovely run. And over they go. Well, a nice flat ball at the line. And the try scorer is going to be the 12, Mikaeli Afoonga. An old mate of Jody Henry's from way back in 2008 in the original Vodafone Junior Warriors days. And a dream start here for the Papakura Sea Eagles, and TJ, they take full advantage of that early era from Bay Roskill.
Yeah, as we look at the SAS replay there, nice little play there by the right side half, just putting two big boys onto one player and identifying the space there. So not well executed play there.
So it'll be Ruben Tolovai to attempt the conversion. Named in the 3 jersey today, and I think probably is playing in the centres. We know him more as a back rower or potentially a hooker. Strikes this one, it is away to the right, so will remain Papakura Sea Eagles 4, Bay Roskill Vikings 0. Shout out to GJ Gardner Homes, principal sponsors of the Papakura Sea Eagles, and each of the jerseys, or most of the jerseys, have an individual sponsor as well. So a big thank you to all of the local companies that have got behind the club this year. Shout out to George Cody as well, doing a really good job running the financial side of it and making things tick here at Papakura. So back to halfway, and Bay Roskill prepare to get back underway, and it's a high one, so they're going to try and contest this. Just a little bit too deep, although takes a lovely bounce backwards. Oh, that couldn't have worked out better. Recovered by Kaliopasi. Vogel, that's Timothy. There are a few of them on the field today. Shift play on now out to this right-hand side. They pop the ball. And we've got a Bay Roskill penalty there. So offside, the call. So a chance now to set up on the line, and they're set heavy to the left with quite a staggered back line as well. So let's watch with interest what happens here. We're going to go back and restart that one again.
Yeah, Bay Roskill have definitely shown their hand very early here, Corey. I'd be looking for them to probably take a settler here, or if they don't score points, and then looking to go wide early. So we'll see how that pans out.
So Vogel has taken the ground about 3 metres out. Ropati becomes the dummy half. Goes to Liao Sevi and then to Mackenzie Kata, who's actually coming to the starting lineup by the looks of things. The big man in the 20 jersey, Vogel. Swings play out to his left, links with Sebastian Hint, and now they bring the full-back Liao Sevi in, that's Jarvis. And again, there are a number of Liao Sevis on the field today. Definition of a family club. They work now back through the middle of the park via Sean Tempest. And Tempest will shake free. And referee Arken pointing to the spot, and I think they might have got a pass away there to Joel Leosevi. My apologies, I missed that one there as I glanced down to check the team list. But just like that, TJ, Bay Roskill hit back.
Yeah, nice little tip on there by the lock forward from Bay Roskill. And 12 here, I think his name is Sean Tempest. He's looked to make contact there with the defenders and got a nice early offload there as well. So identified that space around the ruck.
Here's a sneaky little offload as well. Missed the commentator's attention altogether. So we await the conversion now, and a nice crowd down here today at Prince Edward Park. The usual suspects up on the hill there, and the sideline either side of the commentary box crowded as well. Also, a nice day makes all the difference. So lining up the conversion is Josh Caniello. He's been pretty impressive through the first couple of weeks, was close to their best on park in round 1. Scored a try and impressed with his work out of yardage as well. This Bay Roskill team really doesn't change too much year to year, and if there is a new name, it tends to be the cousin or a brother of someone already in the squad. So in comes Tanielu. Strikes it okay, but it fades badly to the left in the end. So remains Papakura Seagulls 4, Bay Roskill 4, 6.5 gone. You're joining us for the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership round 3. And a couple of early tries inside the first 5 minutes here. So that's a sign of things to come, and we're going to get some entertaining footy today. Bouncing ball claimed by him. A little bit of footwork there from Kata. Tempest carries forward, tackled by Jason Toll, who stays in the tackle for an age. And as a result, penalty for Bay Roskill. To wonder if he was tangled up in there, but there was no protest, so Ropati now will kick for touch.
Yeah, Corey, that's a strength of Papakura's hooker. Jason Toe is quite good in the ruck there, so probably try to get a sneaky one away, and referee Kevin Ken's got him on that one. So, but yeah, just if you just watch Jason Toe, he's got a bit of experience. He's been in the Warriors system earlier on in his career, and very good at slowing down the ruck. So he'll be someone that, if Papakura's to win the game, he'll be a vital part to this.
So a big shift to the right as TJ was speaking, and well, it's gone into touch, and I'm just not too sure who's got the feed right now. Let's take a look, and it's going to be a Papakura feed. So again, Bay Roskill wanting to chance their arm early. Hasn't come off there, although it did look like they had the numbers that time. So again, we shall watch with interest, but in the meantime, it's just giving Papakura a chance to ease that pressure defensively. Jason Toll shifts to his left and links with Tolovai. There's that Franklin Storm combination. Toll to go back and play the ball again. It's just stepped off the mark there. Toll says, well, I'll do the exact same thing and dart out anyway. They're 5 short of halfway now, just over 9 gone. This is the 11, Robert Farrow. Just inside opposition territory. Tackle still up their sleeve. Tolovai, the first receiver. Then brings in Mika. Last play coming up now. Toll looks centre field. Links with his 7, Dutton, who dinks a little bomb up. Claimed on the full, though, nicely there by Nixon Liaso. And now the Vikings get to rucking this ball out of their own end, but don't expect too much of the one-out stuff. Vogel. Ropati turns back to the inside and links with Joel Leosevi, who's been heavily involved early on. We've got a penalty here. So Ropati now is going to look for touch, and just to, I guess, revisit that family angle for the Bay Roskill Vikings. So we've got Jarvis Leosevi at fullback. He is the younger brother of the lock forward Joel Leosevi, and also the younger brother of Justice, who would have been the captain for this team, but unfortunately tore his ACL in the pre-season. And you've got the Vogels, who are cousins and brothers. So the Vikings now shifting play on. Pop out, little offload. Oh, it's broken down badly though. And now there's a foot race on down the left-hand flank. Skips out of one. Chase coming across, grabs the jersey and brings him down. But they're going to be well short on the right-hand side here. Looking for a penalty, but nothing's forthcoming. They instead go down the left. This is the 18, Sonny Walker.
Jason Toll clears the ruck. Brings them back to the middle. Tolavai will take a settler. Well, no, he won't. He'll pop an offload. It's an ill-advised one. And it looked like Mika, though, probably could have got to that one, so not sure if there was a breakdown in communication. In the meantime, here come Bay Roskill. This is Jerome Vogel stepping, jiving his way to halfway. He's the commentator's going to lose his voice by half-time at this rate. Hint will clear the ruck to Tempest. Ropati dummies. Instead comes back to Tempest. Nice little offload out the back. Vogel then on hand. And at the end of all that, we've got half the Papakura team on top of the Bay Roskill player. Just about on halfway. And a penalty. Jason Toll again. And we're going to have time off here and a talking to. TJ, what did you make of that one? Cynical stuff there in the ruck, or a little unfortunate?
Yeah, knowing Jason, he'll be pushing the limits on every single ruck there, man. But look, it's interesting to see Bay Roskill there. They've had a couple early shifts and they've dropped the ball quite early. They dropped it on the first play, and they're still going back to that. So that's obviously their style of play. That's how they've been working for this week. I haven't seen any of their games leading up to this, but obviously it's a style of play that they're looking at doing and how they feel they can beat Papakura on this week's game. But Papakura had a good opportunity up the other end. They probably just needed to build a bit of pressure and complete their set there, and unfortunately they had a loose offload, and it wasn't enough urgency shown around the ball.
So back into it now with the Vikings. Good carry forward here by Kaliopasi. And ball's bounced. Knock on. Dear oh dear. Ball control optional early on here at Prince Edward Park. 12 and a half gone. It's Papakura 4, Bay Roskill 4. It's entertaining, but not the most economic brand of football we have seen. So a scrum to pack down now, and once again, Papakura, just as they're preparing, I should say, for a goal line stand, all that pressure gets released. Gets us started with a 1 out from the scrum. Some good carries here from Papakura. We probably on the whole have a slight size advantage. Just as I say that, Mackenzie Kato races out of the line and puts a nice little shot on. But a player in a bit of trouble in back play and a penalty. So discipline, a bit of an issue early on for both sides as well. They're going to kick for touch. The boots of Dutton. Toll brings in Farrow. Taken by Cutter and Vogel down low. Kaliopasi spills out. Left side they go. Dutton, little double pump. Well, may have been on for a second there. Now this will be interesting. I saw that as a forward pass or a knock on from Kura, and then the Bay player taken him to touch. So we'll wait to see what the call is here from referee Arken, and it will be a Bay Roskill ball. Well, TJ, a pretty full-on start to the game, but one of these ones where you just feel like maybe the excitement's getting to everyone a little bit, the discipline's not quite there, and the ball handling certainly is not there so far.
Yeah, definitely, Corey. It's quite hard to get a gauge on how the both teams are going at the moment, but you know, probably the team that can string together a couple back-to-back sets or a couple completed sets might end up walking away with some more points at the end of this first half anyway. But yeah, they probably just need to settle down a little bit and focus on going forward and kicking the ball into corners and working off the back of that. So
30 off their own line now, the Vikings. Shift to the left, Vogel tries of Ford, and Referee Arkin agrees. So by my count, that is the third or fourth play one error from Bay Roskill. And we've got a player down and back play. That's Jerome Vogel. Let's hope that's nothing too serious. Rushing over to check is David Slade. So while the injured player is dealt with, maybe highlight a few things going on with the Auckland Rugby League right now. Had the pleasure of attending the Jets development camp out at Glenfield during the week. Great to see a good turnout there as well, and quite the facility that they've got there at Sunnysnook Park as well. And TJ, you've been out there for the holiday blast at Glenfield as well. I understand there's another one coming up at Te Atatū.
Yeah, it was actually our second one that we ran at Glenfield over Thursday, Friday, just gone. Great facilities at the club. They've got a good large club room up there, and obviously the fields have just been redone and all the lighting and stuff like that as well. So great facilities. And I know Mark Clayton at Te Atatū is looking to run their holiday program at the Te Atatū Roosters at Jack Colvin Park on Thursday, Friday this upcoming week. So they've been quite consistent with their holiday programs and quite established there. And it's just a opportunity for some kids to go down and enjoy some sport and activities and things like that during the school holidays.
And what a champion of the game Mark Clayton is out there in the West, and kudos to the Roosters doing some wonderful stuff. Great to see some live updates from their Fox game last week as well. Dutton shifts play to the left-hand side, and into a little hole is Tane Wiki. There's appeals from Papakura. In the meantime, Bay Roskill surround. So we've got a high shot in there, thanks to TJ for picking that one up. A little hard to see there on the screen. So back-to-back sets coming up now for Kura. Chance to take the lead in this match. Toll. Smashing the ball forward now is Donny to Vailopa. Toll will work the short side into a hole. Too easy for Papakura. It's Sonny Walker who does the damage in the end, but smart play from Jason Toll at the bottom of the ruck, and it's Papakura 8, Bay Roskill 4, 17 gone here at Prince Edward Park.
Yeah, as we look at the SAS instant replay there, you see Daly Dutton obviously identifies a shortfall on the Bay Roskill right edge. He's played to his strength here. Sonny Walker close to the line is going to be someone hard to stop all day. So, again, Corey Papakura just strung together a couple back-to-back sets there with the penalty and managed to capitalise on scoring these points here through Sonny Walker. Just make a bit of a shout out to Daly Dutton's dad, Shano, as well. I used to play with him back in the day. Very physical character back then, and he was awesome. Someone that was always easy to play with when he was playing next to your man. So although he lived life a little bit dangerously with some of the shots he put on, he was definitely someone that everyone enjoyed to play with.
Tell you what, TJ, it's a sure sign you're getting old when guys you played with have got sons playing in the first division, just quietly. There's the conversion attempt from out wide. It's not a bad one, but drifts just to the left. So Papakura 8, Bay Roskill 4, 18 minutes gone. And the Sea Eagles, despite probably having less of the opportunities, TJ, they find themselves on top. And really, it was, as you mentioned, the first one to complete a set in a good ball situation, and they find a try.
Yeah, it is. Again, Papakura just probably have to look at doing the same thing on this next attacking set. So get as many metres as they can off the carries and try and look to kick deep into corners. So at the moment, they're up 8 points to 4. Looking at the signage out there as well, they're going into a stiff breeze. So it's a good lead to take into half-time if they can keep building on that as well. So, yeah, Bay Roskill, again, probably just going to string together a few back-to-back sets and start building a bit of pressure. So.
And I think offside from the kick-off. Oh, dear. Yeah. Nothing generates anger and angst in the game of rugby league like the offside after conceding a try. Now they want to tap and go here. Referee Arkin has other ideas. So a bit of pressure now for Bay. Dutton will kick for touch in the end.
Okay, 3. Time it run number 3. Hold.
Tuivailopa.
Okay, run.
No nonsense up the middle. Farrow. Pretty impressive early on. Had a couple of nice carries. His Robert Farrow. Oh, off the boot there from Tolovai. Did really well not to knock that ball on. A wobbly old pass out of dummy half. Mika now positions himself at first receiver. Instead, though, they'll work through the middle via Noble. Not far from the line now, Papakura. Looking to extend this lead for the first time today, past 4 points. Toll will go himself, but he's got 3 black jerseys there. Gets the ball away. That was touched. That might be 6 again. It is. But in the meantime, Noble's going to go very close. They get there in numbers. 6 more to play with. Ball comes loose, and it's a strip. Tempest ruled to be the offender on that occasion. You can just feel the atmosphere's lifted a little bit here at Prince Edward Park. They've endured a tough opening fortnight with losses, but they can see this one here for the taking today. So back into it we go with Farrow. Rangy edge back rower. Toll. They come back to the middle of the park. Gets low. I think this is a try. And eventually Arkin agrees, and it is the number 10, Tiffany Noble, who crashes over in the end. They just keep it nice and simple in the end, TJ. Too big, too strong.
Yeah, Corey, as we look at the SAS instant replay there, there's a nice little ruck play shown there by Jason Toe. Called a corners play, so he's obviously identified shortfall or laziness in the Bay Roskill defensive line there, and he's identified it with the big man coming back through the middle channel.
What a difference an experienced and football intelligent dummy half can make to a game. You can just see the way Jason Toll's guiding them around the park. And, you know, compared to, I guess, some of the other games we've watched over the years, you can just see there's a real purpose to what Papakura are doing right now.
Yeah, actually had to coach against them a couple of years ago. Corey is a tough character to, you know, nail down and try and identify in that defensive line. But him and Darren King, we had Darren King at the time, another experienced dummy half. Was a very good competition that day. I think you guys live streamed that one and called that one. Unfortunately, my team didn't come away with the win there, but no, he's a great experience to be around. And again, it's those little 1%ers that he can add on to certain plays that some dummy halves miss out on. And you know, he's obviously a key important figure here in the Papakura Sea Eagles team today.
Yeah, and I remember that game well, TJ, and obviously, as you mentioned, it didn't work out for you at the time when you were the head coach of Ellerslie, but it was a tremendous game to live stream, and a great advertisement for, I guess, the emotion and passion that can emerge from the chance to be promoted up. So we await the return of play, and they now lead by 10 points here, the Papakura Sea Eagles, supported by GJ Gardner Homes. Big thank you to the local sponsors on the different jerseys as well. Be interesting what the kickoff is here. They've sort of tended to go high, Bay Roskill, but reasonably deep so far, whether that's been intentional or not. They've regathered one of them already. And this one will again go high, but too deep to contest. It's messy though, and Papakura do really well to gather that one in the end. 23 and a half gone. SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifiers round 3. And right now it is the winless Papakura Sea Eagles in control over the Vikings, who have a win and a draw to their name. This is the 17. Tikarahi McPherson. Toll shifts and brings in Dante Nkona, the former Manurewa Marlin. Jason Toll with a little push there and sent Joel Leosevi into the play. Well, I feel a little bit sorry for Joel there. Don't think he was in control of that one too much. Jerome Ropati now wants to have a chat.
Yeah, smart there by Jerome. He's noticing his boys are a little bit tired there and just slowing the game down a little bit to help his team resettle. And I've got to make a shout out to Dante Mpuna's son as well. Kratos used to coach him a couple of years ago with my son in the under-6s. So Kratos is down in Rotorua at the moment playing in the New Zealand Māori Rugby League tournament down there. So shout out to you, Kratos.
So another penalty and another chance to build some pressure here for Papakura. Carter, who's played the full 23 minutes thus far. In fact, I'm not sure there's been too much change at all from Bay Roskill early on. Certainly there has been for Papakura. So Cole with big man to his right and playmaker to his left. Tolavai goes back door to Dutton. Dutton holds up late. Oh, that's a beautiful line. A nice offload. Oh, really good try. Nice football, Papakura Sea Eagles. The timing of the pass and the lead up. A couple of nice lines run. Ken confirms it. The Sea Eagles go up to 18, but that was nice to watch.
Yes, we're about to bring up the SAS instant replay there. I'll put that down to Daly Dutton and the line he ran there out the back of shape. So you saw as soon as Daly got the ball, he looked to increase the tempo a little bit and went deep into the line, creating that defender to come out. So opened up a bit of space and creating that one-on-one opportunity for his back rower to get away with that offload there. So awesome, well-executed try there by the Papakura Sea Eagles.
Credit to Jody Henry. This very much looks a team that understands their strengths right now and playing pretty well to them, and as a result are on track to take a nice little lead into the break, although still a little bit of water to go under the bridge before we get there. Kick to come now from Ruben Tolavai, who was the second division player of the year, testing my memory here, I think 2019. And kick is good. Papakura 20, Bay Roskill 4. The hosts well and truly in control, much to the joy of the faithful here at Prince Edward Park. Bay Roskill with a fair bit of work to do right now. The last couple of tries have come off poor discipline from them. This one's a driven deep one. She itself wasn't easy to pick up. Oh, dishing out a bit of punishment there. That's the 15 for Bay Roskill, Mark Sifa. Late inclusion in the place of Corey Vogel. Hint now with a chance to push him over the sideline. Stops short about 3 in from touch. Toll says we'll bring play back to the middle of the park. Puna. A couple of good carries since entering the field, Duntain. Junior Tukinga. Dutton takes the ball to the line again. They're going to work this left side where they have found some luck so far, Papakura. Nice quick play of the ball. There's an offside player in there. Ball goes out the back. Sonny Walker has taken the ground not far out, and I'm just trying to figure what the call is there. TJ, maybe you saw it?
Yeah, I think Sonny Walker, as he made contact with the ground, he's knocked it on there. So it's a changeover as it was the last play. But yeah, as a coach, Jody Henry probably wouldn't be too worried about that one. They marched them pretty much 90 metres up the field there. So they've turned the ball over in Bay Roskill's 10-metre line. I'm really liking the look of Daly Dutton out on the left edge. So he's running some courageous lines, taking the ball deep into the line. And it's just creating that one-on-one opportunity with some of those boys as Papakura, oh no, it's a big decision here by the referee. Did you just send him off for 10? Yeah, that's Jason Toe, there you go.
Well, there you go, and to be fair, that is about the 3rd or 4th ruck infringement from Toe, so you would have to say, good refereeing there from Kevin Arken. So Toe goes for 10 minutes in the bin. Golden opportunity now for Bay Roskill to hit back. Ropati squeezes every little bit he could out of that touch finder.
That could be a massive decision there, Corey. So, if Bay Roskill could put together some points on the back end of the set, could look to swing momentum back in the way of Bay Roskill. So, tough 10 minutes up here for Papakura, but if they can do something with this 10 minutes here and not let any tries in, it'll go a long way to winning the game.
So Vogel rushes to dummy half, looks to his right. Ropati shifts play on, and a gap out on this right edge, just short of the line. It's the 3, Tanyelu, who's taken down. Swing it back to Ropati, to Vogel. Virgil to Cutter. Cutter swings around and goes back door. Nice football here from Bay Roskill. Tempest goes over the top. One more pass needed from Vogel. But the scrambling Papakura defence gets there to close it down. Leo Sevi brings play back towards the middle of the park. Cutter. Smack down in front of the SAS uprights. 27 and a half gone. Bay hunting a hit back. Vogel goes low. Not this time. Leo Sevi. Ropati goes high. Aerial contest incoming. I think that took a touch off Papakura. Let's wait and see. And in fact, no, it didn't. So turnover ball and a nice goal line stand there from the Seagulls.
Yeah, very good defensive set by Papakura there, Corey. Just interesting to see the way that Bay Roskill was playing. So you could see that Papakura was short in the defensive line, and Jason Toe's the one that's gone off. So the inability to change between game plans there from Bay Roskill, but come back to bite them on the backside there, because they probably needed to play a bit more around the middle and use a few more ruck plays around there to open up a bit of space on the outside before they went wide.
Race Tuivalopa, fresh on the field, and I think he may have played in the reserve game earlier as well. Tempest on the tackle. Up to the right they go, and again it's Puna. Put himself about nicely in this contest. Dutton finds himself at dummy half. Will take the line on. Chips over the top. Something on here for Dutton. Looking to regather, but it bounces fortuitously into the hands of Hinton. Now Jerome Vogel, look out. He's got wheels. Jerome Vogel disappearing down the left-hand side. Looming in support is Leo Sevi, and should have the legs to get there. That is a nice hit back from the Bay Roskill Vikings. It all starts down the left with Jerome Vogel, who just streaks clear. Then, like all good fullbacks, Jarvis Leo Sevi screaming in support through the middle of the park.
Yeah, Corey, as we look at the SAS instant replay there, nice little bit of play there by Sebastian Hint, the young half for Bay Roskill, freeing up Jerome Vogel down that left-hand edge. I actually played against this guy quite a few years ago as well, Corey, and he's just as fast now as he was back then. So nice little play back onto the inside, and as every good fullback, great support play there to come away with the 4 points. The young half for Papakura had his time over again, Corey probably wouldn't look to execute that play with a man in the bin. That's probably not what they were looking for there. So probably a message needs to go on by the coaching staff at Papakura and look to find the touchline and slow down the play the ball without their 13 men on the field at the moment.
Kick is good from Tanielu. We've got a 10-point ball game with 10 to play in the half. Yeah, the problem with those chip and chase plays in your head, they always end with a glorious try. Unfortunately, that time, it breaks down, and Bay Roskill, credit to them, had the skill to take full advantage of it.
Stay.
Oh, that looked quite close to being offside from the kickoff there. But all good as the call. Tanielu goes to dummy half. Brings play back towards the middle.
Yeah, this Papakura right edge is walking out here. Corey, look to Bay Roskill. Oh, as an error slipped in there, that'll be good luck for Papakura.
Mistake comes from 17, fresh on the field, I think, on a side Polamalu.
On the mark.
Big test here for the young halves of Papakura too, Corey. So probably need to look to build a bit of pressure here and probably not look for the easy points and easy options here. So look to play out the set as we're coming down to our last 8 minutes in the first half. If they can't score, that's all right. Let's look for a repeat set and see if we can build a bit more pressure while we've got our man in the bin.
Tuivalopa just as TJ Ashford says that, although play on is the call. The ball comes out and going to be called back for a pick-up on the knock-on. So Ropati swings it out the back. Leo Sevi breaks free of the first and a second and a third. The ball pops out. Got some NRL fantasy points for that little run. Kata. Charging forward towards Mika it is, or in fact Tolavai. Kata. Breaks free of the first. Nice little offload off the back of it, and again Leo Sevi. Impressive backing up and just hovering on the shoulder of his forwards. Cutter is the first receiver. Then to Sebastian Hint. Hint holds and just tested that line, but Tuivai-Lopa was up to it. Vogel becomes the makeshift dummy half. Ropati, double pump, twice. Now centralise. Options either side now for Bay. Ropati looks high with the kick, a tester at the back, but it's cleanly taken. And out to the 20 they go. Nicely done there by the Papakura Seagulls, who are showing some real nice resilience on their line. The man in the bin, Jason Toll, still in the naughty chair over there. A couple more minutes before he returns to the fray.
Yeah, big 6 minutes coming up here for Papakura Corey. They just need to show a bit more energy with and without the ball at the moment. So they get a penalty there. That might piggyback them out of their own end.
So by our count, 5.5 to play in this opening stanza. Papakura just taking their time to set this one up. Goes safely into touch. And a big set coming up for both teams here. Tolovai. To Puna. Good carry from Puna. Finds his fronts as well. Nice quick play of the ball. Tolovai jumps out of dummy half now and tests those markers. Breaks free of the first one. 10 out from the line. Chance to extend this 10-point lead here for the Sea Eagles. McPherson to Dutton. Dutton shifts play on. Again, nice little run in behind, but an ankle tap, I think, which saved the day there for Bay Roskill. Back through the middle, they'll work it. Have we got a try? I think we have. Arkan points to the spot. Another one for the Sea Eagles, and it's going to be pretty hard for us to ID who that one was. See if we can catch it here in the SAS instant replay.
I think it might be Daly there. Daly Dutton, I think.
Yeah, you bang on there, TJ. Just clever little dart out of dummy half. The camera angle's a bit deceptive. It looks like he's deep into the end goal there. I assume they weren't that close, or it would have been a try a couple of plays earlier. But all that matters is the Sea Eagles go out to 24, kick to come, and in the shadows of half-time, once again, the Sea Eagles establish a nice little lead here. And if you're Bay Roskill, well, you have scored a try with that man in the bin, but other than that, you've really struggled to put too much together, which must be worrying. Now, Jason Toll just looking over towards the sin bin.
No, he's back on now, Corey. He's just trying to take the field.
So back to their full complement now, the Sea Eagles.
Let's put that try down there to the big number 19 junior Takanga as well, Corey. So that was a little effort area. So when coaches talk about effort areas, running that dangerous line off the run line there, and obviously creating a bit of space there for Daly to dart into the try line.
Flags go up, and And it's all good here in Papakura if you're a Sea Eagles fan. Papakura Sea Eagles, sponsored by GJ Gardner Homes. They lead this one 26-10. And siren goes in the background, so that'll get us to the break. Papakura Sea Eagles in control. 16-point lead is a short break for us before we resume with the second half action. And I think we may hear from Special Projects Manager at the Auckland Rugby League, Selwyn Pearson, as well. Back shortly.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's not often I get the opportunity to sit next to a legend, and Sal Pearson, part of the Auckland Rugby League team, Special Projects. What brings you to the Sea Eagles, Sal?
Oh, I think it's just another day out for me. I like to get around, and yeah, it's the Fox Premiership, the SAS Fox Premiership's always a pleasure to come and see, but we're a bit spoilt for choice today, Troy, because today kicks off the Crown Lift trucks, or Crown Equipment as I'm told it should be identified as.
Yep, there you go, I won't bite you.
No. So it's, the Crown Lift Trucks Championship kicks off today, so we're rather spoiled for choice, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And Corey touched on that earlier. We had a look at some of the games that were, kicking off today around the traps. I understand Eastern United, the amalgamation between Ellerslie and Mount Wellington, are up against Waitemata today, so it'll be interesting. CEO Greg Fipe, who was down here earlier, I think he's gone off to see that match, mate. But really good to have that sort of I suppose, support when you've talked about Crown Lift Trucks and SAS Sports, Steed and Footballs, the list goes on, mate. Crown Lift Trucks, though, you've had a wee bit to do with them, eh?
Oh, they've been absolutely amazing, and 15 years ago they came on board for 12 years. Mike Fogarty was the CEO, and then Kieran White took over from Mike, and I thought I got a little bit nervous about the change because up to that time we'd been well looked after. But you can't take these things for granted, especially when you get a new captain at the helm of the ship. So I very tentatively picked up the phone and got hold of Kieran, and I said how wonderful Crown had been for years, and could I pop over and see him? Well, you were there. I mean, it was just what a wonderful man. I mean, he made us feel that damn welcome. And, cap in hand stuff and going and begging to people isn't the easiest job in the world, but boy, he made it a very pleasurable experience. And I gave a bit of a whoop of joy when I got outside after he shook our hands and said it was, nice to catch up. So it really doesn't get any better than that. The experience with Crown has been sensational because, I've met a lot of the staff now. Yep. We host some of their key clients at the Warriors games when we can. And, boy, some of them are pretty passionate about the game. Well, a lot of the staff are mad leagueies as well. But they're some of Crown's clients, customers that have been on board, just fantastic. I love it.
The other thing too is, it's interesting to notice that not only are they supporting the Fox Championship with the Auckland Rugby League, but I see that they are really well supportive around some of the Auckland referees with the sponsorships there.
Yes, they've been, and yes, they have been marvellous with the referees as well. So their input has been absolutely sensational. But I think the big thing for me is nothing changed after Kieran took over. You know, that relationship and the kindness and the warmth continued. So it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Well, I don't know about that. I understand you were part of the Pop Stars group, and maybe you had something to do with their jingle sound.
You mean that auditions for Pop Stars?
There you go.
Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that. Would you like to hear a couple of notes?
Give us a couple of notes, mate, as we get ready for heading back to the live action down here.
Enough. There is nothing like a crown for picking it up and putting it down.
And if you don't know the words to that, well, then obviously you've bought the wrong forklift, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Troy Hardy with the Auckland Rugby League, sitting alongside me, Sal Pearson, as we get ready now to cross back live to the action down here at Prince Edward Park. Don't go too far away, ladies and gentlemen, as both teams are just breaking up from their halftime chat now, and they'll be getting ready to warm up for the kick-off second stanza. Thank you very much.